We're finally back today to try to sort out a solution to these ductwork issues here. So we have all the cowlings, but we're only going to try to do this one here today. So the idea is that we're going to install the cowling. Hopefully don't have to mess around with this. We might have to, we'll see how we go. Retake the static measurements and go from there. Like I said, my first solution straight up is just to get our mech department to redo the whole thing with the cowlings. But there was some internal discussions in the office. They want us to try either putting it on and seeing what happens, or we've got some angle that we might have to do to cut the cowling. Anyway, if it comes to that, it'll come to it. We'll see how we go. Problem was the cowlings actually took about 3 months to get here. So most manufacturers do say, if they don't have the parts in stock, they'll have, like a 3 month wait. That's usually just to give them time, and it'll take a month maybe, or a couple of weeks. But this time it actually did take 3 months. So here we are. Anyway, we'll jump into it. First things first, we'll probably have to get rid of these two. Oh, we'll shut it down first. Remove the duct and try to install the cowling. And like I said, hopefully we don't have to do too much messing around, because it is sitting, this one here looks like we might have a bit of play this way. But these ones here look pretty tight. So it might not actually fit over the cowling, which is why I think they removed it in the first place. It's the only reason I can think of as to why they moved it in the first place, to be honest with you. So yeah, anyway, let's jump into it. And here they are, all 7 of them. So I've been calling them a cowling. I guess they technically are called a bellmouth. There you go. Not sure it makes much of a difference, to be honest with you. The other alternative, if we can't get it just to sit in there the way that it is to try to use some of this, right? So the idea is that we're gonna have that up against that. So you cut the bellmouth, and it'll sit onto there, right? So we're basically cutting off the edge. So that'll sit internal of the unit, and then have it sitting right there. Who knows? We'll try it if it doesn't work. Probably the most important tool today. So another reason I think this is not going to work is because Mitzi's recommendation when you're using ductwork is to have a minimum a meter between the top and where it's where it's sitting. And as you can see here, we're only sitting at 850. Anyway, we'll continue on. Those ones are sitting at about 925, so they're a lot better. Again, still, this is an issue. They're going to have to sort something out when we do eventually get to that. And also the back one, that back one still has the the fans in 2 separate ducts. So that one, regardless, is still going to have to change. And just like that, it's gone. We've obviously taken the fan blade off. We were just seeing if we could get the fan in there to do a dry run. I do have a feeling we weren't able to actually get it in there all the way, but this thing, the curvature at the back there does look like it's coming in a bit hot for us to be able to get it in. So regardless, we'll still take this off and see if it fits. So potentially we could cut the top. My only hesitation is it took us 3 months to get these things. So I don't really want to go mangling it just to see if something's going to work. Bam. There we go. Okay, so dry run is looking okay. What I'm concerned about is obviously the curvature of that duct hitting this. Now, I am considering, so I've got the fan motor sitting in there, which does sit below this lip. If we can, trim this, that's kind of where our head's sitting at the moment. We might put the ductwork on top now just to see what it looks like. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. If you can't tell, we're kind of just winging this whole thing, man, honestly. We're just winging it. So we were right, it is kind of hitting at the back there. Everything else is okay, around the sides, around the front, I think we'd have plenty of space, but the only issue is this pushing in here, which might be enough to start, obviously, having the fan clip that. So maybe all we need to do is just cut a bit of a section out. Maybe that's the path we go down. At least that way we're not completely mangling this thing. But we might be okay. We might be okay. All right, this is our plan here. We're going to cut that little section with the die grinder. And hopefully that will sort all of our problems. Okay, that's what that looks like now, so we should be fine. Still just touching, so just going to nip the edges off here. Dry run worked out okay. We're now in the process of just getting this one in place. It doesn't look anywhere near as nice as I thought it did. When it's in place, it looks a little bit weird. Anyway, no one's ever going to see it ever again. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. I'm still not confident that this static pressure is going to be okay. Because, I mean, I think I showed this the last time, but look at that. It's pretty wild. Anyway, continue on. Work in progress, so just going to use a level to make sure that this is sitting flush. We're almost done. Basically, where we're sitting at now is I've got the 3 screws at the front and 1 screw on the side there, but as you can see, it's basically no room behind either side, which is kind of annoying. So what we're trying to do is we're fixing the top ones here first, and then we're going to fix those ones to hopefully pull that forward just a touch, because I'm trying to get my hand in there to push it up, but it's really hard. So yeah, idea, tighten up these ones first, and then that one to hopefully pull forward, and then we can basically go through and screw behind. Even if I have to try to jump in, we'll see if I can do that, but we're getting there. And then we measure the static pressure and read something crazy high. All right, we did our best. I was able to get a screw back there by propping up on there. I've drilled a little hole here, which I might color in so it doesn't start to rust or something like that, or paint it. But yeah, static measure port for a return. Return. It's looking all right. We're almost ready to test. We've just reapplied power now and hooking up our MNet tool, getting that set up. Then we will run it through a test mode. We'll get that fan to run 100%. We'll set up our static pressure measurements and see what we're sitting at now. So the magic number for static pressure here is 60 pascals. That is as high as this unit will allow me to set it to. Let's see if that works out, hey? Something tells me, I think from memory we were sitting at 35 pascals the last time. I think, I can't remember off the top of my head, but something tells me we're just gonna be higher than 60 pascals here. Anyway, we'll jump in and test. Feels so good when you do a job and everything goes quite smoothly, and then you work out that it's been for nothing. 130 pascals of static. That's yeah, basically double what we're allowed for here. Great, perfect, how good. Room temp was already sitting pretty high, 25 degrees, and the set's 25, so the fan was just cruising, right? So I've gone ahead and chucked it into cooling mode, so we can get this thing, bump the temp all the way down to 20, get this thing to really ramp up, see what the fan does. Again, we kind of already know that it's fucked, but kind of doing this is hoping for a different result, so I don't have to undo everything I literally just did. We are going to go through the fun process of undoing everything we've just been doing over the last couple of hours. I'll film a little bit of it, but honestly, you can just rewind the video and that's exactly what's going to happen. So when you get there, just tell past me not to worry about it. Anyway, sometimes it's hard not to be frustrated. We're going to remove the cowling and just have it the way that it was, and the office can go back to the drawing board, try to work out another solution. The other idea could potentially be just to move the condenser. The only other issue is that, so we've got this section here, there's a door. You know, if we move it here, it's kind of in the way. They've got a switchboard there, they've got a pump there. There's really not a lot of space. It's yeah, less than ideal, obviously, this whole thing. Honestly, I think what we've done on this one will probably work on these two, given it's that, even with that. And I believe these ones will allow you to go up to 80 pascals of static. For whatever reason, the YKBs only go up to 60. The Y&Ws allow you to go up to 80. So I think we'd be okay doing what we've just done to these. Again, that one over there needs to be changed, but anyway, we're going to jump into removing this cowl. Like nothing ever happened. Hopefully the next time I'm back here, all I'm here to do is take static pressure measurements of the new ductwork that's been installed, setting the dip switches accordingly, monitoring some data, and just making sure everything's working properly, because yeah, it's been a bit of a pain in the ass, to be honest with you. Like I said at the start of the video, didn't think this was going to work, and here we are. I do think it'll work on this. Regardless of this crap, I do think these ones will be okay. That one down there still needs to be replaced regardless, because the split, and this one, they need to do something. Maybe they do just move it to here and just accept that that door can't be used anymore. Yeah, it's a conversation for the office and management and whoever else to have. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. It feels kind of weird to end a video in the exact same point in which I started it. It's not ideal. Anyway.